Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have got, get ready for it, a good looking Hamilton watch. This is actually the Hamilton Pilot Pioneer Mechanical Chrono, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for this watch. I think it is actually a really good looking model. It is available in a couple of variations. You do have a black model, and you also have like a bracelet which will connect to this. But to be fair, I'm not so keen on the bracelet, and I honestly think this on this rather handsome leather strap looks really does look the part. There's something definitely kind of really nice with this one. Price wise as well, it's not too bad at all. The RRP in the UK is coming in at 1,980, but that's before any kind of discount, so you might be able to get this one for around about 1650, give or take, thereabouts. So really, for a big name chronograph, that's actually not a bad price at all. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say massive thank you to First Class Watches of Kenilworth for allowing me to review this piece. Lots of cool looking watches, some brands you may know, some brands you may not know. So if you're in the Midlands area, I'd strongly recommend popping into the shop. If you're a little bit too far afield, well, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description and at the bottom of the page now. All I ask, if you do contact them, please mention the channel, as it really would help. So anyway, let's talk sizes first. Now, they actually state on their website it is a 40mm watch, and this is the case if you measure from here to here. But if you measure across the body of the watch here, it's coming in at more like 42mm, I would say. So it's, you know, with this affair going on here, it is a little bit wider. Now, the thickness of the watch is coming in at 14.7mm. The lug to lug is 49.4mm, and the strap size on this one is 22mm. Now, the dial itself, I think, looks really nice in this blue. Even though it's not really a sunburst dial, you still get different kind of hues the way it picks up the light. I do like that. Also, you've just got simple text on here, the Hamilton logo and Hamilton written across there, and nothing here. I do like that. I think it looks very clean and tidy for that. Now, as you can see, we have two subdials here. This is our constant running seconds, so these are your normal seconds for your timekeeping, and this is your minute totalizer for the chronograph. Overall, I like the way you've just got everything printed on here. It makes a real kind of contrast for white and the blue. Even with these white hands, it does look the part, I think. There's actually a decent amount of lume on this as well. I find the lume is actually pretty good. Now, back to the chronograph, how we activate that. Press the crown up the top here, the pusher, I should say, up the top here. And that gets that straight into motion. What I like about this is many of the Hamilton models feature Powermatic 80 movements, and they only beat at 6 beats per second, but this movement actually beats at 8, and so you get a much more fluid second hand running around here. Now, the chronograph, being that it is only a single subdial, this one only reads up to 30 minutes of elapsed time. For most things, that's going to be good enough, but you know, do be aware you only have a 30-minute chronograph on here. One of the other nice things with this one, it isn't a slow creeping one. It actually, the minute totalizer will jump when it gets to the 12 o'clock position. Some have a habit of like slowly creeping round, where this one will be a positive sharp jump, as you will see in the next few seconds. So let's have a look at it, see how it jumps across there. Let's have a look, and boom, nice. So it really is quite a nice chronograph on this one. Let's try a reset and see how snappy it is. So press the top, and then bottom. Very sharp. No, it's quite a nice, cool chronograph on this one. Now, the crystal itself is a sapphire crystal, and to be fair, the AR on it isn't that bad at all. My outdoor shots, to be fair, it's not the sunniest of days, but it did seem quite clean, the AR, because sometimes I find on many of the Hamilton models, the AR is absolutely useless. It's almost like they threatened it with some AR coating and didn't actually put any on the dial, on the actual crystal. But this one, did look okay. Obviously, it is quite pronounced. You've got a lot of dome, a big dome crystal on there, and you do get a sort of like magnification of the hand stack there. Big shoulder on it. It does look very good. The case itself is just a nice, simple case, to be fair. all just satinised brushwork. They've kept it down to an absolute minimal on this, and that's probably why, you know, the price isn't as pricey as some of their other ones. The case back on here, I would have perhaps liked to have seen, if you'd have done this polished under here, it might have made the watch look a little bit thinner, or maybe even tapered it in somewhat. That might have done the trick as well. You have a radial brushwork going around the top here, and then you come to the simple pushers and the crown here. One thing I should say with the crown, you see how we've got a bit of a cut out here? I do like that because it just, you know, it makes it easy if you do need to get your thumbnail in there, and it just breaks up the lines a little bit. So this is a manual wind watch, so obviously it hasn't got a screw down crown, and it's just a nice solid feel to it. You carry on winding it until you feel it will hit a wall at a certain point. So don't force it. You'll find it at some point, you'll just wind it and then it will become much too hard. Don't ever force it. That is absolutely perfect then, no problem at all. So anyway, as we turn the watch around, we are greeted just with a solid case back. But underneath there, Hamilton have fitted what they call the H51 SI. Now that has, I believe it was 60 hours of power reserve and 25 joules. The SI actually indicates that it's got a silicon hair balance spring on there. So it does offer the watch a much greater level of, you know, anti-magnetic. It's going to pick up less magnetic fields, which will affect it. It still can be magnetized, contrary to belief. It's not just the balance spring which can be magnetized. The rest of the watch can also be magnetized, but the balance is normally the first port of call when there is actual magnetism. So overall, it is very nice. The true movement really is a 7753. And, I should say also, I did put this one on the time graph, and I think it was pulling a little bit around. It was like 6.5 plus 6.5 seconds. Obviously, that may change as you wear the watch. And basically, I say it is the 7750 as such, but without. If I show you like this, here is a typical 7750. Let me just take case back off this one and get an idea what it is. Here we go. I did loosen this earlier. God, there's quite a bit of thread there. And that is basically what you're getting is this movement, but minus the rotor, and if I spin it round, and minus the auto work plate there. So in essence, it is very, very similar to that, but just a twin bicompax design, you know, twin subdial design. But some people may like that because the rotor on a 77 base movement can be quite loud. I personally don't mind it at all, but that is what you're getting. So it's a little bit more compact, and basically that is what the movement is on the back there. What is nice though, they do actually decorate the rear plate of theirs, so you can see just a nice simple solid workhorse movement. Other things to mention, it is actually water resistant. Even though you do have this very, very nice leather strap on here, the watch can withstand 100 meters of water. Well, it does have 100 meters of water resistance to it, which means it should be okay for basic, you know, light swimming. So no problem at all there. The actual leather strap, I think, is lovely. It is it feels just right. It needs to be broken in, to be fair, but I really like this tan strap. It's got a lovely feel to it. You do have a lining on the back there, and I love what they've done with the clasp up top here, the pin and buckle. They've actually gone for the H of the Hamilton logo, locating into these twin holes on this side. It's a nice little touch, and I think they do it really well. We have two keepers, one which is fixed and one which is floating there. Overall, I think it is a good looking watch. Let me put this on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing one of my Zing chronographs there. That is the 144 anniversary Type 2. And Bob has got the new Hamilton Khaki there. I think this is quite a nice watch, actually. That is definitely a nice watch. Let me put this one on my wrist, got an idea how it looks. My wrist size is, 7.25 inches. That equates to around about 18.5 centimeters, I believe it is. I'm only going to put this on loose because I don't want to stretch in any way the leather strap. So there you go. That is it on my wrist there. I honestly think this is a really good looking chronograph. I think this is a very, very handsome looking watch. And for its price, definitely a winner. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this one. But most importantly, you'll stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.